Alright, there we go, we're on. Right, hello, welcome back to another video. Today is a Friday morning, and in case you haven't spotted it, this is the new workshop. Well, it's not new, but you know, it's a new place I'm going to be using for the workshop. You might have spotted in some of the other videos. It's all been done in my house, on my dining room table, other places like that. That's where I started the business, and then I've just expanded and moved, and now we've got that much gear, that much stuff, that the wife has just basically turned around and said, get it out of the house. So it's out the house. We had looked at other units, other commercial places. For one reason or another, they didn't work out. So yeah, we've ended up in here. It is the garden shed, but it's the garden shed that's had a lot of work doing to it. It still needs a lot more work doing to it. Only really been in here properly for 3 days. 3 days of working in here so far. So I'll give you a quick tour. And then we've got some hoodies to make today, and we've got some signs to make, and we've got other bits and pieces to do. So I'll bring you along for the ride, and you can see what it's like working in a new workshop. So if I was just about to show you the computer, but it's got stuff open that's got customer details on, and I don't want that happening. So right, let's pick you up and turn you around. So we've got an old system there. It's running Windows 7, which is fine. That can run most things. And then coming along, we've got this nice little work area here. It's actually a dry wipe marker board down there, which is perfect. Going along, you see we've got the mug press in the back there. We're going to start using that a lot more, hopefully. Laptop, clothing press, sublimation printer, drone that needs moving out of here at some point. Obviously we've got storage racks here, which eventually will take a lot more of the vinyl and that, because we still got a lot of the vinyl stored like it used to be stored in the crates underneath the cutter. So yeah, we're in. It's going alright so far actually, but it's a bit cramped, it's a bit tight, but it's our own little space. So yeah, we've got some work to be doing, so let's crack on with it.
That's nudge economics or something, isn't it? That's you know what? Nudge theory. Yeah, but we don't want prostate cancer to be a bigger killer than breast cancer. We don't want breast cancer to be a killer full stop. But you know, breast cancer is rising because people are not talking about it, and two, we're not doing anything about it, and we need to change those issues. And we have to raise the awareness of it, but equally we have to fund more research with prostate cancer. You can get this message out, but we're doing it.
It is worth saying that actually outcomes are improving. I mean, the rates of breast cancer improving after prostate cancer is not because outcomes are not improving in prostate cancer, because they are. It's a slightly more complicated picture.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick, and to you, El, for all the best. Thanks a lot. Every week we are building to the World Cup in Russia by going from Qatar. So we are hate for authoritarianism. We had beef for Sergei Thatcher, the first Soviet footballer to play in England. C was for Cyrillic alphabet, where we heard that for pudding is pudding, which we just loved. I've been saying it all week. Now we've got today.
Наручники порванный рот. Сколько раз протившись моя голова,
That is DDT, a band founded in 1980, one of the few bands ever named after a pesticide. DDT. D is also for Thatcher. It said you can't fully understand Russia without.
Okay, so we're flying through things today, which is brilliant. Like that. It's a Friday, might get early finish. I doubt it though. Still got to do the post office, and that is like mega big cubes. So what I've got left to do is I've got 3 signs I need to make up there, little A5 signs, and we've still got a hoodie to do. If you don't know anything about clothing vinyl, I know I've never really explained it before, but this is clothing vinyl. You can see that's clothing vinyl, and that's the sign making vinyl. The ones for the signs has got a sticky back to it. So that bit there is sticky, and that's going to stick onto something. Stuff for the clothing hasn't got the sticky back to it. What you've got is you've got one side there which is rather shiny. Let me see that. You've got one side there which is rather dull. Now you need to mirror your image, so that means you have to flip it around. And you have to cut onto the dull side, cut out the image on there, weed it all out, and then you lay it onto the garment and you pull down the press. So what should we do first? Shall we do let's cut this first, and I can explain about how to cut this and all the clothing vinyl and everything else like that, and then while the press warms up, we can get on and do the signs there that we've got to do. Alright, so let's go over to the laptop. Okay, I'm still trying to work out where to put the cameras and everything else like that to get the best view, as if it were, in here. So this is the design that's being cut. It's ADHD Hi to hey, look, a squirrel. So what we're going to do is, because we're working in a sign blaze, we're going to do Control and A to choose it all. We've got to the size. We know the size because of the size of the garment it's going onto, and it's going to be 25 centimeters, which is 250 millimeters, which is why I just put in 250 there. And then we click OK. So we go to cutter, and you can see it's coming up there. If I just deselect mirror, so it comes up there. But because it's a clothing item, because it's been cut on the clothing vinyl, we need to mirror it. So that basically means that it flips it around. So you would need to use a mirror to look at it to see it properly. And we're going to rotate it across the vinyl so it uses up a little bit less. So then we take the vinyl and we load that into the cutter. I suppose I could take you with me. Ready? Go! No, I can't because you're on charge, aren't you? Dope. Okay, so we have the vinyl loaded in. Let's get back to what's going on down here. So now we've got that, we click cut for the cutter and we click cut tile, and because I've had to turn the cutter back on, I bet it's going to play up. Yeah, see, there you go, we're not getting anything at all in the box. So we just unplug the cutter, it comes up with the warning, clear that, plug the cutter back in, click cut. This time it'll go with the blue bar. See the blue bar going? Nothing's happening with the cutter, so you just click on cancel. Because it's got the blue bar, you can click on cancel. And there we go, cut for the third time, and this time it works, and there we go. Okay, so there we go, that's done. Let's grab that out. And let's move back to work area. So it's always good when you grab these things out if you hold them at the side where it had actually cut, because if you look at that, your view is probably as good as mine. You can't actually see where anything has been cut and what's happened. On some of them you can turn them over and you can actually see it on the back, but not on all of them. So we know it cut on that side. I'm trying to work out where to make it a little bit easier for me. Yeah, there we go. So the reason why I want to know where it cut is because I don't want to waste a whole entire sheet, and because I didn't put any kind of weeding border around it, so it's all going to be quite loose. So can you see that there? I'm still learning with this camera in this room. I don't have an awful lot of room to work with. So if we start weeding, okay, because I don't want to take out the entire sheet whilst I'm weeding it, and because I didn't put in any weeding lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out now. Just like that. So let's centre the camera back up there. There we go. Right, so now we can weed out the rest of this properly. It's just virtually exactly the same as doing sign vinyl, but you're not dealing with something that's got a sticky edge to it. And if it touches itself, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now you can see I've taken off the worst of it. I'll just take that bit there. Just want to hold it up so you can see. So that's the side where the matte finish is on everything, and that's is going to be how it's going to be laid down, and obviously then it's going to be pressed, which is why we do the mirrored image. So what you've got now is you're able to see where those bits are, but you can't actually see any other lines like in here. And a little trick to be able to see the other lines, to be able to get the small bits for all the R's in the D's, the A's and other things like that, is if you just slightly curl it over like so, and then just run it underneath a light. I don't know if you can see, but there is a line that goes straight down there, a straight line which is part of the D. I don't know if the camera can pick that up well enough, but I can see it here. See if I just get in there with the weeding hook. So I know it starts there, and there you go. See, that's where that line was, and that is just a very easy way of how to find out where you have to weed on clothing vinyl. Right, let's get the rest of it done. Okay, So there we go, that's it all weeded out. You can see it there, this is the side it cut. This clear stuff is actually slightly tacky. That just makes it easy when you line it up, as we'll do in a little bit. So then obviously that's going to be laid down and press that side. One tip, as you might have seen, is I've kept all of the weeded stuff right out the way over here. There is a reason for that. Because that stuff here is slightly tacky, anything that lands on it is going to stick. And you could end up, if you're not careful, with a t-shirt that looks like that, where a little piece landed on there and it just stuck. I didn't spot it until it was too late. So yeah, just have to be a little bit careful. So right, that's done. I'm going to warm up the press, and while that's warming up, I'm going to do the signs. Okay, so there we go. 3 signs made, but not finished. You might think they're finished, but we also need 1, 2, 3 of them. What do you do with your offcuts of vinyl? Well, we make labels for the back of signs, as well as many other uses, as we will be putting out a new video series coming soon, which is strange uses for vinyl. First one of which is a car window. After some plonker decided they wanted to break one of our car windows, and we had to do a temporary repair. Nothing better than a piece of vinyl. Right, so there we go, 3 signs, and leaflets, gosh, ready for envelope and out the door. Right, while that's been doing that, the press, there it is, has been on and going. I don't know if I can reach where I've got to have the camera on charge, unfortunately, at the minute. Okay, so the press has been on and going, and it's now up to temperature. So let's get in there and have a look. Close that down, put that there. So if I swing around, there you go. So you can see our target temperature. Well, you can't. I'll zoom you in so you can. You can see the target temperature there is 150, and it's currently up to 167, which is not the most accurate of things, but it always goes up and then it cools down, and then it goes up and cools down and goes up and cools down. Right, take the sheets off. Take the garment that's going to be printed onto. So if we push that out of the way, it does go. There we go. You see, because it's so new in here, trying to get things out the way and sorted is a bit of a nightmare. I will get there eventually, I swear. Right. Are you still zoomed in on that bit? You are, you can't see what I'm doing now, can you? There we go. Right, so there we go. See, so I'm lining up the garment on the platen, trying to get it in the middle and get it straight. Get rid of any crud, because you don't want anything coming down and onto print. These are just pieces of chip shop paper, as if it were. They're not actually from the chip shop. They haven't been covered in chips. Oh dear, that was last used for t-shirts. Alright, there we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm just giving it a press, just to get any moisture out of the garment. Just blast it out. Okay, so a few seconds later, just let it go. And it should be ready for print. So what we do is we take the transfer, just line it up, just roughly at first. Now because that backing is a little bit sticky, it helps just to hold it in place. And then you can either choose the line of the platen or a line on the clothing to try to line it up to get it straight. Okay, so once you're happy with it where it is, I had to do a cut then, phone calls and everything else going on. Right, put the sheets back over the top, swing back in the thingy. Now this is a 12-second press, hot release, but because it's going onto a hoodie, I like to give it a couple of extra seconds on top of the 12. And there we go. Right, that is it for today. That's all the work done, I believe. I don't think I've got anything else coming in. So please like, please comment, please subscribe, and until the next video, which hopefully will be Monday, and we'll do like a Monday through in the new workshop. We'll see you then. Bye bye.